Graph the following piecewise function. F of x equals negative x plus 2 for x is less than 0, and 2x plus 1 for x is greater than or equal to 0. Now, graphing a piecewise function is identical in the process of just graphing in general. The only difference is you have a restricted domain. So this restricted domain for the first function, negative x plus 2, is where x is less than 0. All right, so I'm going to sketch that restriction in. So this is the part of the x-axis where x is less than 0. All right, now this function, negative x plus 2, it normally would look like this. It would be a line that passes through the y-intercept at positive 2 and has a slope of negative 1. All right, so let me just get a few points here and sketch in the rest of that line. Now, the thing about that is, this line is actually only defined when x is less than 0. So this part of the line over here, where x is greater than 0, is not actually defined. So we need to get rid of that. Right? Now, the other thing about it is, it's not actually defined at 0 either. So we need to change that point right there into an open circle. Now this is the line negative x plus 2 subject to the domain where x is less than 0. All right, the other part of this is subject to where x is greater than or equal to 0. So that would be these values here. So that's where x is 0, and this is where it's greater than or equal to 0. And then we have the line 2x plus 1. So 2x plus 1, it has a y-intercept of positive 1. And I'm going to go ahead and put in a nice solid circle there because it's defined at that point. But I'm only going to draw on this side where my domain is. So for where x is greater than or equal to 0. So the slope of 2, we would go up 2 and over 1, up 2 and over 1, and so forth to get a few additional points. And then draw in the line. And that right there is a perfectly fine sketch of that piecewise defined function.